Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Superman from the Red Sun. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. For those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, so I know where I want to take him. I just got to get him there. And it's going to be like a flying pose, obviously. Well, I guess not obviously, but yeah, I want him to be flying because, you know, he's Superman. But this story, if you don't know it, you should look it up. It's really good. Actually, okay, so the whole reason I'm doing it now is because the video is coming out. And it's a really good story, like an alternate universe story, and it's got everybody in it. It's got Batman, it's got Wonder Woman, and it's just good. That's all I'm gonna say. You watch it yourself and you'll see. So yeah, so I'm gonna get him into a flying pose, and then I don't like that. That didn't come out too well. I don't want the side view. That's... Oops. I just threw my pencil across the room. Yeah, so hang on. I gotta get this in the right pose. This is not quite looking right at this angle. So, okay, wait. So let me draw the rest of it. Maybe it'll look right. Because there's his knee. Right. There's his other leg. And so then... we'll have this one kind of floating out like that. So that means this one, I think that's what it is. I had it out too much like that. So I'll try to be quick. I'm sorry. You know, I have an idea, and that's what it is. I know where I want it to go. So I just gotta get him in that pose. And that's kind of the thing about being able to draw, knowing your anatomy, is that you can see it in your brain and you know where you want to take it. You just have to figure out how to position everything to take it to the place you want to take it. And also, I can't turn my paper. Like right now, I want to turn it so bad, but I can't because it's taped down. So I can record for you. So this is all your fault. Just kidding. Okay, that's about right. I think that I can work with that. There you go. That's a good flying pose, right? Okay, so that means his chest is right here. I gotta move his head over. I had it a little bit too much to the left. His right, your left. So let me just fix this real fast. And I think I have him, yeah, I'm going to make those shoulders big, huge Superman shoulders. And have his arm out like this one out like this. Yeah. Here we go. So I guess also with him, we can make him a little bit bigger because we have him in a different position. Like normally I got to get head to foot here. Now, because I have him in a different position, I can kind of get away with a little bit more of size. Okay, so let me draw his hands real fast. Okay, you know what's funny is I always draw the hands way too big, but I think this time they're coming out the right size. So I'm drawing him too big, but because I drew his body bigger, like I was talking about, it's working out. All right. And so this one should go pretty easy too, because he's pretty much wearing tights. That's the best way to look at it. Is his costume is so skin tight that that's pretty much all we're doing, is drawing his tights. And so we're basically drawing anatomy is basically what we're doing. So this is kind of a fun exercise in drawing a gigantic man with big anatomy. Okay, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see, this hand, we'll just do the same thing. We'll have him in his, pose down like this, pose down, traditional flying hands. That make sense? Good. Does it not make sense? Good. Just kidding. Okay, that hand is off. That hand is way off. So we're gonna, I'm shaking the camera. Sorry about that. Did you get dizzy? Okay, relax. Go get a drink of water. Maybe some Kool-Aid. Give me some too. Fruit punch would be great. And we'll get going again. All right. That looks better. Let's see. All right, so now he needs a cape. How about we just draw like that, like he's flying, These old soups with the flying cape. Let's see. Let's do kind of like a dramatic, billows. There we go. All right. I like that. Okay, and let's see. So the trick to him is, or this one, the sun, the red sun, is his design. So in other words, color is going to take care of a lot of it, but this sickle design on his cape is a big part of it. And so are his gloves and his cape, like his neck piece. That's excuse me. That's very defiant on defiant. That very much defines the difference in this character than regular Superman or American Superman. Sorry. Let's see. Oh yeah, the sickles. I was sitting here talking about it, and I just started looking all over at different things and started redrawing. Okay, so that should define this. And that should define that. Okay, that looks good. That's gonna get us there. Alright, so that we're going to draw. The rest of it is kind of color. He's got gloves on, and that's what's going to make him the soups that we know. Okay, so see if I can give him a very manly soups face. Superman, sorry. Sometimes I do things that are a bit annoying, but I think it's funny. So, like saying soups over again, and then I realize, you know what, maybe that's not as funny as you think. But again, as I say all the time, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. So that's my way of saying, this is my channel, I do what I want. Okay. I think I got it. Let's see where the part is here on the side here. All right, I think that'll work. I think we're about ready. Yeah, that'll work. Let's get going. So I'm going to switch over to Sharpie now, and I'm going to erase some of these sketch lines. What I really want are the confidence lines, so I don't need all those sketches that I did, but that's the way I work. I throw a bunch of lines down until I see what I want it to be, and then I start to get darker. Now, if you're working with pencil, you go for it. You keep going. But because I'm about to switch over to Sharpie, I got to erase some of these thinner lines so the Sharpie will stand out and not the pencil lines. But that's about it. I'm ready to go. Just going to need my eraser, clean it up a little bit before we get going, and switch over. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point and can find the things the fine point can't quite find. So I'm going to start off with the face. I've sketched the entire thing out and I've erased all the sketchy lines, and I have just a light drawing of confidence lines I'm going to build with and start from there. So I'm going to start with the eyes and work my way out, see if I've got it where I want it. I have to adjust my positioning because I can't move my paper, but I want to draw the top of the eyelids first in the place that I sketched it, just to see if I've got it. Yeah, just to see that I've got them, level, because you don't want your eyes like this. I got to make sure I have them like this according to the way I have the face, and that looks about right to me. So now I'm going to draw the iris, so a little bit of a round part like this, kind of big. Didn't mean for it to be that big, but that's how it came out, so I'm going to work with that. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a pupil, so I'm just going to draw some dots like this just to try to make that circle. The reason I'm doing it like this is because this will start to bleed, so I have only so many places I can add these lines. I'm trying to be a little careful here. So I'm not gonna draw the underside of the eye completely. I'm gonna play around with the way that the eye implies some lines here. So let's do this. Let's bring it in just a little bit there, but I can't do much more because it's gonna bleed. So I'm just going to add some lines for the eyes like this, add some eyebrows like this, bring them back over here for this line, like that. And for the nose, I'll go ahead and draw just a little bit of a line like that, but I don't want to draw the whole line because it'll start to bleed. And I want it to be subtle with the nose. So I can draw the rest of the bridge like this, and then for the nose, I'm going to draw the nostrils and then the bulb, the round middle of the nose. So I'm going to come over here for the nostrils, make sure I got them in the right spot, and draw the bulb of the nose. And I'll go ahead and just do a little bit of a line like that just to define that part, but that's about it. So for his mouth, I'm just going to give him a regular old lip look like that. We'll draw just a little bit of the divot for the nose, kind of like this, just to define that part. But for the bottom lip, I'm just going to pretty much do this, and that'll kind of define that he has that bottom lip part. Okay, so let's give him his little divot in his chin, and that'll let us also define where the chin's going to be. Now I'm going to start to thicken it up because as I build from here on out, this Sharpie is super thick. So me personally, for this drawing, I'm going to start to build up the thickness of where I'm going with this. So if you're working with pencil, you don't have to do this. Or if you're working with Sharpie, you don't have to do this. I just know the way it's going to look, and I'm trying to match what's about to happen. So now I'm going to work my way up the face here and draw the cheeks. And I'm going to come in like that. It looks very drastic, but that's where the hairline is going to start to hit too. So I'm going to come up here, draw that. And again, I'm going to thicken it up just to be prepared. And so I'm going to draw his ears about right here. Come up here and just do this. We'll go ahead and draw the entire ear. Like that. Just do something like this. And then again, like I said, I wanted to draw his hairline, so sorry, I lost my picture. Let me pull it up real fast. I don't have a picture of him. I just have a picture of the comic detail that'll help me get the detail of it. So I'm going to draw his hairline, and I want the side of it, like his sideburns coming in just a little bit like that, so that's why I wanted to bring the hair in like this. The same thing. And And it's all going to be blackened in anyway. I just wanted to define just a few edges here. And build from here. So again, I'm going to part the hair on the side here. And then I'm going to come down here for this hairline. But I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to do the Superman, what do you call it? Curl. Okay, so that gives me an edge to define. Like that. It's kind of dramatic and it's more cartoony than real. But just wanted to do that. Alright, so here on out, we're just going to, again, pull the hair over. And I guess we're going to define a few edges real fast, too. Alright. Again, I'm going to thicken my edge up. Like that. And I don't want to draw all the, I do want to draw all the hairs, but I'm not going to draw all the hairs. That's what I was trying to say. Alright, so I'm going to draw his neck down like this, but I'm going to stop right there because his collar is going to start there, and I'm going to switch over. So now that I don't need that Sharpie for the finer details, I can go for the bigger stuff here. So I'm going to draw his collar, and he's got his little Russian insignia collar. So his cape is also going to come up here too because his shoulders are just up just a little bit. So I'm going to draw the collar like this. And see how thick that is? That's what I was saying. I wanted to match where it's going. And again, his cape is going to start to build up. So let's go ahead and draw that cape line and we'll start building up from there. Alright, so see, that's why I cut that off short, and this one can come down. And that's where the cape's going to be. And see how I did a couple of lines like that? Because I want the cape to be coming out, and I want to define that a little bit. So, you know what? Let's do this real fast, too. Let's give him some strength in his jaw. Something like this. Because I also want him to look a little older. The drawing that I just did, he looked young to me. So I was trying to age him just a little bit, and to me those lines defined him a little bit more to give him some age. I'm gonna finish up the cape like this because it's going around his shoulders, and now I'm gonna just add just a little bit of detail like this, and I'm doing it with this Sharpie just to give it a contrast of thick and thin, and give it a certain specific unique look to it. Okay, so the rest of it is pretty much anatomy. He's got such a skin tight outfit that's what we're going to be drawing. So let's draw. How about his pecs to his well, let's draw his shoulders. I guess let's do that. So I'm going to draw one big one up like this, come down in here where his biceps going to be. Same thing over here, like that. That's how big they are. Look how huge those are. Woo, those are probably too big, but that's okay because it's Superman. We can do what we want. So let's define his pecs to draw the underside of his arm here. So I'm going to come in here like this, and that's going to help me to define where his arms are going to be, right? Because this arm is going to go into this muscle, which is going to define that pec right there. Does that make sense? So the back of him is going to be coming out of here. Is his rib cage to his stomach. Same thing. We're going to draw his rib cage to his stomach. And see how I have him kind of tilted back a little bit? That's kind of a defined look that I was specifically going for. So let's do this. Before we build on his arms, let's draw that insignia that I have here. And I have it sketched out, so I'm just going to kind of build off my sketch. Alright, so I'm going to start with the point here and come down. And again, I've sketched this out, so I'm not just drawing randomly. I'm following the placement that I did for it. Because I sketched the hammer and sickle that are across his insignia. So now I can just kind of trace the places that they are. And the reason I'm doing it like that is because it has a certain look to it by that all being connected. And this, kind of like when you do his S on his chest, how it's connected to the edges, this will help it look like it's all one piece color-wise. So if you want to do it like this, I suggest sketching it out first, which is probably why you should draw the sketch or watch the sketch section of the video. You can sketch with me. And go like this, come up and go back in like that. Now I can draw this edge and we're almost done. So see how it looks like a little hammer and sickle? So now when I color it all in, it looks like it's all one piece. And I kind of like that, how his chest, you know, goes through it. All right, so let's keep building. So now I'm going to draw his arm over here and finish that part up. So again, we're just drawing muscles is what we're doing. So I'm going to draw anatomy of huge muscles to his arm to right about there because he's wearing gloves. So now I can work my way back like this, and we'll go ahead and add a little bit of defined muscle line because it's Superman, right? It's the soups. Oh, I just said I wasn't going to do that anymore. So sorry. And I'm going to add just a little bit of like material line too, like okay, it is cloth, so we're going to add just a hair of wrinkles. Okay, so same thing. Let's do it right here, real quick. How about like that? Just a little bit of wrinkle. Okay, so let's draw this glove. Just his hand is pretty much just doing that. Nothing fantastic. I'm sorry, not nothing fantastic. That's a horrible thing to say about my own drawing. Nothing crazy is what I meant. Just an average hand. Don't ever knock your drawings, kids. What you do is always fantastic. So I'm just going to draw his hand out like that. And so the other fingers are back behind, so you don't have to really draw as much since they're all tucked behind each other. All right, so I'll just add some lines for the glove just to show that it's stretched out. The material, if it's material, I like to add those lines. So let's work on this arm too. So same thing, just a big bicep to the forearm. Again, stop right about there where the glove is, so I can come back in this way. Like that. Gonna add some lines, just showing that it's material. And his bicep is pretty much flopped over like this because of the way his arm is bent. So we can just do that. We'll add a little bit of defined right there for that muscle. And draw his, just like we did over here, draw that hand out like that. Because I kind of think of that as when you're flying, that's pretty much you don't need your hands. They're just out like that, you know? So I'm going to draw his glove out like this. There's his thumb. There's the finger. Same thing, these fingers are just kind of behind him. So that's all we really got to draw. Came out a little wonky, but that's what happens when you work with these Sharpies. You know, you can only draw so many lines and it starts to bleed into itself. So let's see if I can hide it a little bit. Something like that. Okay, that'll work. So now let's draw his belt. And he's got that circular round part like that, and it's got the little 101, right? That's how it looks. Connect it right there, and we're going to come in, give it some room for the placement that it's the loops. That's the word I was looking for. Like that. Again, I'm following the sketch, so I'm not just randomly doing stuff. And I'm going to add his top like this. That's the top of his shorts. So something like this. And you can go ahead and connect that. Then build on the rest. All right, so he's got his little tighties, his little blacky tighties, because they're not white. They're not whitey tighties. I can't say that. Like this, and he's got his legs back. So let's see. Let's draw this one here like this. And that's how they are. So I want to add, because I have them kind of stretched out, I want to add just a few little stretch lines for his material. Again, his pants, something like this. Not too much, but let's draw this leg first. And again, we're just drawing anatomy now, so I'm going to draw the big old strong leg. Both sides. Come in here to the knee. And I'm going to stop right about, I'm going to draw it. I'm going to stop right here for the edge of the boot. Okay? So you do that too. Alright, so his knee's going to be about right there, something like that. Again, because it's such a skin-tight suit, there's not much we can really do. So now I'm going to draw his boot. I'm going to come down like this, and it's facing you, so it's pretty much pointed like he's standing, pointed right at you. Alright, so toes coming down like this, toes coming over like this, and I'll add some detail to show you what I'm talking about. So, like that, and the front of the toe is pretty much like this. Okay, does that make sense? Awesome. So this one is kind of tucked back behind though. So this one just coming down. Oops, should have been more round right there. Like that. Alright, the back of the leg is coming in like this, and it's tucked back behind him, so we come down about to right there. Bring it in, that's where that edge is right there. Coming down like that. Going to draw it the side view of it because it's tucked back behind him. Something like that. There's the heel. Come down here for the toe. Bring down the other side. So something like that. Again, we'll just draw some creases and folds just to show that, you know, it's got wear. He bends his ankle. Okay, so same thing here. We'll just draw a few little lines just to show that it's material, and that's it. So pretty much, you guys we pretty much just have to draw the cape real fast, and we're done. So it's coming around here, it's coming around the mountain, and it's gonna flow through this way like that, and come down here like this, and come through here, and we're gonna billow it in flying, flowing fashion. So I'm going to do something like this. And again, I've sketched this out so I know where I want this to go. And the other side's coming through here like this, coming down to that. Alright, so again, see, I planned it out, so it helps when you plan things, kids. You know where you're going. Alright, that looks a little sketchy down there, so let me clean that up a little bit, but I think we're done. I think it's ready. We're ready to take care of the rest with color. There you go. I'm just going to smooth this out just a little bit. So there, I am done with that. And I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Superman from the Red Sun. Oh, real quick, I almost forgot one last thing. We're going to add the little collar piece that he has, and it's just a small little detail. Just a small little bump over like this. Same thing. Bump over like that, and there's a little star in there. Alright, so that's it. There we go. Now, let's take care of the rest with color. So that is Superman from the Red Sun. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.